What I would start by saying is that over my banking career, I've lent to a lot of different sizes of businesses and types and industries, really across the spectrum. And something I always observed and appreciated was kind of what I always felt to be an underserved niche of businesses that needed access to capital that were just kind of on the edges of what banks like to do. And it didn't make them a bad borrower. It just meant that someone needed to spend a little bit more time and attention with these types of companies, and they got to get paid for their risk too. And banks are generally set up to fit within, a certain credit box and pricing box and structure box. And if you deviate from that, it's tough for a business to kind of navigate through all that. So, what I'm really talking about is called mezzanine commercial lending. And I also observed over the years that there's other mezzanine lenders out there, but really most of them kind of start at a higher ticket size than many small businesses need. And when I say higher ticket size, if you're a business that needs kind of a loan of this nature and you want to borrow, let's say 7 or 8 million or more, there's a number of choices out there, all kind of across the United States. But if you're maybe needing something under 5 million, there's very limited choices. And so this was kind of our theory when we decided to form this business. And I found a couple of other like-minded people that shared the same view. And I have two other partners that I work with, one of which is Meriwether Group, which is primarily an investment bank. And then First Northwest Bancorp, which is the parent company of First Fed Bank, which is a Seattle-based bank. And we kind of shared this feeling together and decided to see if we could put a business together to do this. So we launched officially in 2022, early in the year. And our focus really was on true kind of small business operating businesses. So I know much of what your focus is on real estate, and we don't really do anything real estate in nature. These are businesses that are primarily manufacturer, wholesale, distributing types of companies. Generally, their revenue sizes can be maybe 2 million a year up to 75 million. Probably our average borrower has annual revenues in the maybe $20 million range. Typically, they already have a banking relationship and have a senior credit facility with a bank or credit union or other type of lender, and they're looking to accelerate their growth a little bit faster. And that's really where we step in.
And so is that, Jamie, what makes you a mezzanine lender is they already have kind of a primary relationship with a financial institution, a bank?
Typically, I mean, we say we're a mezzanine lender. The reality is we would do potentially a loan where we might be the only lender in the transaction, but more often than not, our borrowers have an existing credit relationship, and these are profitable, EBITDA positive companies. We're not generally working with startups or pre-profit or pre-revenue types of companies. So they already have an established track record, but maybe have just kind of maxed out their bank relationship, which might be a limitation of the borrower or could be of the bank itself.
When you said a moment ago that this is an underserved sector of the market, is it underserved just from the size of the loans, or are there other aspects to it which make it underserved?
Yeah, when I say underserved, I think about borrowers that are credit worthy and have kind of maxed out what they can do with their senior lender, and there's not someone who is interested in stepping in at the dollar range that we are to really help these. And so we market lending of loans from 500,000 to 5 million. Today, our average loan is 1.6 million in our current portfolio, and it's just difficult to find a loan of that size in kind of the structure that we play in with other lenders, because there's some efficiency around underwriting, and I completely get it. And but that's what we see, and our demand is basically through the roof right now.